Welcome back, everyone, to Disc Golf Network's coverage of the Open at Belton. We have the Round 2 back nine here. This is the first Disc Golf Pro Tour Silver Series event of the year. And Chris Dickerson leading us off with the hot round and front nine of the second round. I'm Nathan Queen, joined again by Chandler Fry.
Hello, Nathan. The wind is down, and Chris Dickerson is feasting. 6 down through the front nine, absolutely tearing up the course. The other 3 players, Joel Freeman, Blaer Orn, and Paul Oman, kind of struggling, getting pars, still looking to get started.
Yeah, you see Chris has the outright lead at this point, 15 down. The rest of the card, 10 down, 9 down, and 8 down. All pushing, and, it's a real tight field up here in the top 10.
A lot of players still in the hunt, looking to get on that lead card for the last round. Hole 10, wide open. Not a lot of wind to talk about today. We got OB strings along the right side and the left side. Keep it in bounds. Give yourself about a 300 to 350 foot upshot to the basket that you can see. That's protected by a few trees. Hopefully you don't hit anything, but just get up there, give yourself a putt, and you should be able to get a birdie because there's not a lot of wind.
Yeah, as long as you can land it in the middle, which should be easy to do today with the low wind. The really only technicality of this hole is keeping your upshot low when you enter. It gives you a better chance to get inside of these trees and have a putt at the basket.
And there is OB long. You can see the road behind the basket. Just don't throw it too far.
So, as tradition, Chris has the box with his 6 down front nine. Just smashes a hyzer out there. He's going to pass that 400-foot sign on a hyzer the whole time.
I think the OB comes more into play when players try to take too much off the tee pad, on the tee pad, just try to flex something out there. I think Chris's play was perfect. You know exactly where it's going to go. And same with Joel. He puts a little flex on it, but should be right around where Chris is. A little farther. Quite a bit farther, actually.
Yeah, that stand-up gave him an extra 70 feet or so, probably.
Yep. This is a good hole to showcase distance if you're looking to really blast one out there, like Blaer just did.
Yeah, moving quickly. He's going to be about that same distance as Joel.
Beautiful shot. And here we have tall Paul looking to blast a destroyer out there. Boom.
Blast he does. This is a little off to the right. He could get a good skip and actually carries back in bounds before needing to skip. Great shot, just barely missing one of those signs out there.
Oh, yeah. 4 great tee shots from these players.
And here's where a little bit of technicality comes in on this one. Chris actually catching one of those. He's going to end up right behind it and have a very difficult birdie putt.
That's when long legs come into play. I don't think Chris does have those, but
no,
he should be able to have some angle at the basket.
And coming in a bit hot from Paul, he's going to go out of bounds and may have a bit of an obstructed putt coming back for his par.
Looks good pace on this one. If it checks.
Good correction from Joel. He'll be inside the circle and have a fairly open look for his birdie.
And Blaer with the farthest throw off the tee pad. Good touch. Missed that tree. That works.
Very nice.
About 15, 20 feet.
So Chris down to a knee, stretching out.
And that putt is all arm. Not much lower body involved with that one. Great execution.
There you go. Keeping the birdies rolling.
Yep. 7 down for the round through 10 holes.
Look at all those leaves in his way.
Yeah.
He doesn't hit a single thing. And gets it in there clean.
I'd say he's feeling pretty good right now. All right.
See Brittany's approval in the background back there.
Yeah, Paul's slightly obstructed with this tree, so he has to straddle out right. Looks just outside of circle 1. This would be a good pickup if he can execute. Beautiful putt from Paul. Good pace, good height, good everything.
I guess we have another Paul save.
Oh, no. Okay, that putt was a bit too firm, in my opinion, and it slightly left. If that was flat, that would have stayed in. But these baskets are not doing any favors to Joel Freeman right now. They're kind of those 50-50 putts that you'd think at least half of them would at least stay in the bucket. But he is not getting the love.
Yeah, at this point, he needs to go ahead and hit those 100% putts and hit in the center, or else he's going to have some more mental struggles the rest of the round. A couple birdies and a couple pars on the card. That hole did average at 3.65, so pretty far under par there. Brings us into hole 11, 293-foot double island, but you're not really thinking about that. Nobody here with a hole this short is going to lay up on that first island. Ideally, you want to land just short and slide a little bit up this hill to not give your chance to give yourself a chance to go long and slide down the hill into the OB, which creeps up pretty quickly on the right side.
Yeah, we're going to see mostly approach discs or mid-range plays, stable mid-range plays. The scariest part of this green, as Nathan just said, is that right side. Anything that gets on edge could possibly roll out of bounds and brings you to a 50-foot drop, or a drop zone that's about 50 feet away from the basket, and still pretty scary.
And you could see out of the hand, he knew it was going to be left. And that looks to be right behind that bush and pretty much a layup land over there.
Yep. And Blaer looking to correct off of Chris's. He puts it flatter, lower, and look at that skip.
Very nice skip. I was going to say it looks too low, but he may have planned that with how fast that disc was moving.
Yeah. Joel Freeman looking to do what Blaer just did. Puts it out left with a disc that's way too stable.
In jeopardy. Yeah, that's not on either island. He's going to be going to the drop zone. Very surprising misrelease from Joel there.
Yeah. Nice and low with something stable.
Yeah, making the correction and hanging it out wide. Paul Oman getting up there inside the circle. Bit of a scary putt, but he does have a birdie look.
Come on, Joel. No. Sit. Unfortunate bogey probably for Joel. And looks like Chris is lining up possibly something. It's a scary putt because it's truly a death putt. But he is giving it a run / layup. He'll get that par.
Yeah, that was one of those maybe it'll float in runs.
Yeah.
But pretty much a layup.
Ooh, good catch from the basket. It was left, but low enough that it stayed in. Good birdie from Paul. The tallest Paul on tour, as people like to call him, Tall Paul.
Yeah, he's made a couple putts in a row now. Maybe he's got some momentum going. And Blaer able to connect on the birdie, jams that one in there.
He's got some speed on that putt.
You see the whole basket shook. It was scared.
I'd be scared too if that disc was coming at me. There you go, Joel. He is not feeling it right now. There's still 7 holes to go though, so hopefully he can bring it back. At least get back to a couple under par, even. Chris tapping in that par.
Yeah, and surprising bogey to see on lead card for that hole, but a couple birdies make sense. Joel will have an opportunity to get to feeling better if he can get the birdie on this hole. This is the 4th most difficult hole on the course, 369 feet and tucked up way to the right. You've got to hit a gap that's 300 feet away. That's pretty small, plus you've got these vines hanging down lower than the basket actually is on this hillside, so very difficult to access this green. If you do, you've got this tree in your way in most positions, so very tough birdie to get.
A lot of players going with just the backhand flex shot through the gap and hopefully give themselves a circle 2 look. A few players going with the roller, but even with the roller, it could get up to the basket and still roll straight down. Last year, it was about 45 feet shorter, which made the birdie a lot easier. This looks fantastic. Hits a tree, no putt.
Yeah, he's right there in circle 2. And like you said, most likely doesn't have a clean look.
Yeah. I love how methodical his run-up is. Everything about his game is so smooth, so clean.
Yeah, when you have a run-up that slow, it's very easy to see differences, but he always is very similar and has, he just like you said, he's very consistent and has that dialed in. Chris's roller comes out a bit low, and I don't really know what he's going to have over there, but I can't imagine there's much.
That was a complete misrelease from Chris. And hopefully that's overstable. It is. Skip up that hill.
And
that's about as close as you're going to see
shot.
most players.
I think that kick to the right may have put him in position to have the putt in between those trees. Chris Dickerson.
Dirty. He was lucky to have that alley right there through the trees, but he still had to hit it.
Lucky that disc sat down after it hit that tree.
Absolutely.
This is such a steep slope, probably at least 45, 50 degrees.
Yeah. But what else can you do? You just got to throw it through that alley and hope for the best. And Blaer looking like he has something there. He still has to navigate those 2 trees. Oh, so close.
And he hits the cage. That looks like such a tight gap there. So Joel does have an open look. And able to connect. Instead of hitting left side, he decides to go right side. Keeps it low enough.
That is what he needed right there. That was a beautiful putt.
Let's watch this birdie again.
It's tough to get that high on that putt because you're also putting from bark chips, which makes your stance very hard. It's hard to get any grip. And so most of the power is coming from the upper body. Great putt from Joel, and there can't be many more 2s on that hole than.
Yeah, only 10% of the field able to get the birdie on this one. So
that's high. That surprises me.
Yeah, that's a few more than I was thinking also. But still rare to see, and we got to see one here from Joel.
Yeah, great hole by Joel. With the sidearm, too. Yeah, impressive stuff. And Chris with an excellent par save from where he was. Usually there's not a lot to throw through. It's just a jungle over there.
As why he did not throw. But yeah, like you said, great par save. Joel with the birdie. I imagine our card played that hole the best today at 1 under par.
And here we have everyone's favorite hole, hole 13, which is now a par 3. It is as technical as it gets. We got trees right, left, in front, behind you, everywhere you can look. We got this tree right here that half the field is probably hitting because it's right in the middle of the fairway, right in the flight plane that you want to hit. If you make it past that tree that's going diagonal through the fairway, you might be able to get a skip up the fairway and give yourself a 70, 80, 90-foot look and just a lay up to a par. It's a tough hole. It's really tough.
Yeah, tough hole. It seems to have a bit of par issues, but other than that, it's a clean line. I don't know if clean's the right word. There is a line.
There's a
line there, and if you can stay on the fairway, you can collect a 3.
It's tough. I mean, and they opened up the right side trees to allow spectators to see the carnage, but it just lets more wind in there, and it's ridiculously tough. It's fun, but in tournament play, it can definitely get pretty nervy. This looks great. A little bit too much turn on it, though.
Yeah, Joel's going to end up early left.
Oh, bad roll. Really, really bad roll.
Early left is better than early right, I believe. Blair's going to have a tough time. Joel could also.
Oh, yeah.
We've got.
Does that turn? Oh, no.
Just a bit too high. That was looking ideal. Going down the center of the fairway, which is through that tree there.
It has to be such a precise throw.
Just a bit low, but it does make it through there.
That's it. That's great.
And, yeah, it looks to be a good curl around to stay in the fairway. I don't think that drifted too far down. So Joel is not in a good spot early left. He's kicked to a really tough one.
Gets it through the first set of trees, and after that, you just gotta hope that it gets close to some throw to the basket.
Kind of regardless of what happened there.
Oh no.
That's further advancement than you would really expect to get. Blair has gone so far right that he is pitching out into the brightness.
The solar flare.
And is going to have to try to play a hyzer in.
Oh, I think that was Blair, and it is not looking good for him. I think that was Blair. So Paul, with a decent drive, puts it... Wow. There we go. Sit. There we go. Should be a pretty easy par for Paul.
And Chris did stay on a clear part. I'm not... So fairway hit, but he's got a little turnover shot and does so well. Able to get on the green for his... I'm going to say birdie.
Oh,
but
no.
It is for a
Don't
3.
do that. Don't do that. It's doing that. Joel goes backwards, unfortunately, and he is left with a similar shot. Off the fairway on this hole is just so mean, so punishing.
Yeah, and as you can imagine, this did play as the hardest hole on the course, with only 2 birdies in the field and averaging at a .89 over par.
Oof. Shout out to Chris Clemens for getting the 2 on this hole, and the young superstar Cole Radalin from Hillsboro, Oregon. Good job, bud.
Yeah, great 2s from those 2 players. The only ones of the weekend so far. And Joel with the frustrating double bogey tap in there. Not the round that he is looking for today.
A small correction, Gannon Bird did get it the first round, but just got to give him a shout
also
out.
Great too, Gannon.
So only 3. Still, that's very, very small.
That brings us into hole 14, 354 foot, right-handed forehand if you have the play. Backhand turnover shot could work as well with a mid-range or a slower fairway driver. Really, what comes into play is this tree and windmill here. If you push too long, you'll be behind that. And if you put too much hyzer on it to try to cut in front of it, you could skip off to the right side and be in circle 2.
And there was a small left to right wind out of the gap that was kind of picking up discs and putting them a little bit farther than players were hoping. It looks like Paul's electing to go slower fairway, possibly.
Yeah, didn't get the turnover that he needed on that one.
Good kick, honestly. That would have been a little bit too far. And Chris Dickerson looking to throw the sidearm. And that is bright. It's hard to really see, and it's perfect.
But he doesn't know how to get his disc to skip backwards like Adam Hammis does. But either way, great shot inside the circle.
No way.
What?
He did it.
Joel, just in a different state of mind at the moment, going for this small gap. Able to hit it.
He absolutely drilled it. That was amazing.
Doesn't quite get the birdie look he's looking for, though.
I'd give him the birdie right there. I'd be like, you hit it, it's yours.
Blair out there right by that tree. Paul has a small look through this gap here. Needs to be higher, though. Ooh. He's going to have a tough par putt now.
Oh. Is he okay? It's like he was holding his chest after that one. Hurt his heart. Drop in. Oh. Good effort by Joel. He's kicking his mini. Dickerson with about a 25, 20-footer. Another birdie for Robot Chicken.
Imagine that. It was dead center.
Crazy.
What a putt from Chris. Just showing you how to do it today.
This is a tough putt. He has those little branches right in his way.
Yeah, that's so awkward when you have to stretch out that far. You can't really use momentum at all. You have to use just your body. Paul having to do the same thing with how tall these bushes are, and just pulls it off to the right side, same as Blair did.
Such a contrast seeing Chris Dickerson play right now and his 3 card mates. It seems to be a different game right now.
Yeah, and they're just slight differences. You know?
It's a game of inches. Sometimes you just get the right side of that. Yeah, kind of a tough hole. Honestly, you'd expect to see a bit more under par on that. Did that hole average under par?
It did. It played at almost 0.4 under par.
You'd expect to see a couple more birdies from a lead card on that one. But on to hole 15, par 4, blast one out there. Hope to stay in the middle. Get as far right as you can, because it opens up the angle towards the green, which is on a hillside in that gap that you can see right there. One of the easier holes on the course. Just stay in the fairway, and you should have a chance.
Yeah, like you said, just stay away from that left side. The trees over on the right make that a little more difficult. You see all the open space on the left, and your brain just thinks it looks better. But once you get over there, you don't really have a great angle to get up into this gap and up to this uphill slope. And this is heading towards those trees I was talking about on the right side, but skips on past them, and he may still have a little bit of branches to deal with, but a pretty straight look.
Yeah, wide open. Hopefully this keeps turning.
Yeah, this is going to end up too far left, I think. It's pushing straighter, but it is pretty close to that tree line over there. He'll have a steep angle, still possible to do, but further right would be better.
Yeah, good distance by Joel there. He has a good forward-moving power, if that makes sense.
Yeah, the disc is on a hyzer, but it's still pushing farther forward than it seems like it should.
Yeah.
Has a lot of force behind it. Good rollout.
Yeah, that was definitely traveling towards a pretty nasty spot. This has to turn, which it is.
Yeah, and a beautiful shot from Paul there. But still pushes a little bit to that left side.
Yeah, we're probably going to see some low skip shots from those two on the left side. And Blair still, with that rollout, still in a pretty good position to get the birdie.
Yeah, I'd say he's about in an ideal spot here. He pulls it off a little bit to the right, but sneaks through those trees, pin height, almost a tap in. And yeah, he is a little underneath these branches here.
Wow.
Gets a good amount of snap on it, but needed it to turn a little bit more. Gets inside, and he'll have a clean look for birdie as well.
Yeah. Not going the skip play, just a nice little approach disc to the bucket. Nice shot from Paul. Good touch there.
And Joel going with the forehand roller. He's a bit more pinched off here.
It's got a turn. Now it just keeps going.
And he's going to have a pretty obstructed look there. I don't know if he'll be able to see the basket well or not. Does not seem like he can. If he gets too aggressive here, this could, yeah, good, smart play there.
Dang.
Just trying to get the par. Too aggressive, and you could roll away pretty quickly on this green.
Oof.
And Chris Dickerson
just falls in the basket.
Has himself another birdie.
Man. He's 9 down right now. That's good pace. The course record is 13 down. And he'd have to get an eagle or an ace in the last 3 holes to get there, but he's still having a fantastic round, and he's increasing his lead right now. Nice birdie from Paul. Just an all-around really cool guy, too. Awesome to hang out with. Super fun. And a fantastic player. Joel Freeman getting the par.
Yeah, so what you expect to see on this hole, averaging almost a half stroke under par. The lead card with 3 birdies. Brings us into hole 16. I think the shortest hole on the course, 235 foot, but pretty tight gap. You've got that immediate tree on the left side, making you throw pretty much a straight shot. However you choose to do that with a hyzer flip or a little bit of anhyzer flex. You want to hit the hill right about here in between these trees to slow your disc down and skittle on up to the basket.
We had an ace on this hole during this round from none other than Chandler Kramer, my fellow Chandler. So shout out to him. Good job, bud. Chris throwing a buzz, maybe a zone.
Thank you.
He should have a putt.
Yeah, he's inside the circle.
Yep.
A little bit of an uphill look there.
Really, the hardest part about this hole is that tree right off the tee pad to the left. It gets in your head a little bit and could potentially cause you to over throw to the right or the left.
Yeah, and a great shot from Blair there, but he just crests that hill before he hits it, so he doesn't get that slow down that you want. He's going to have a very scary 35-footer coming back.
And Paul smoothing it, unfortunately connects with the tree and kicks it right. He should be edge of circle 1 to maybe about 40 feet. But he should have a putt. Joel not getting the turn he was looking for, and unfortunately, this seems to be a theme right now for him in this round. He's getting horrible tree kicks, which is forcing him to just kind of scramble and get those pars.
Yeah, that was a very tight gap he hit right there. Great little upshot to save his par.
Good effort from Paul. Really tough spot to be in, though.
Got a very scary 34-footer here. Shows no nerves at all, though.
I love his putt. It is fantastic. He's such a good young player. I look forward to many more years of seeing him play because he is solid.
Yeah, very clean wrist snap there, not breaking his wrist all the way open.
And no fear, because if you miss that basket either left or right, you are flying down that hill and at best getting a bogey, I'm guessing. So, I mean, the guy is good. He has the confidence, and as I said, he's going to be a force for years to come.
So Chris's tap-in range here. Just going to drop one in from 25.
He's just having one of those days.
So awesome to watch.
Yep.
And Paul with another par putt there, able to tap that one in. This did play as the easiest hole on the course today at just over a half stroke under par.
Well, yeah. They should make it harder. Let's push the basket back another 100 feet, add a few trees, make it a par 2. So we got 2 birdies, 2 pars. You definitely want to pick that hole up. But on to hole 17, which is one of the nervier shots on the course, just because of this gap that you have to navigate through off the tee pad. Even if you hit the gap, though, if you get a good kick, you might still have a chance at birdie. But what you want to do is just get out in the open. Don't throw left, there's OB. Don't throw right, there's OB. Throw it down the middle. Give yourself an upshot to this pretty tough green, which is on this little plateau. And move on to hole 18.
Yeah, as long as you can hit this gap, the wind is what really has the biggest factor on this hole once you make it outside of that gap. It should be a slight right to left today.
I believe so.
But not too much to really worry about with how little wind there is, under 10 miles an hour.
Yeah, very nervy putt. Once you get up there, you have to commit to it because the rollaway factor is real.
Yeah, and the air ball factor is real as well.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't hit anything. I watched quite a few players yesterday being parked close to that green go back and forth. This is coming close to that OB on the left side, I think, but it does stay inbounds.
I'm blinded. I can't see. That should be inbounds. We didn't get the graphic that it was out of bounds. But this is a common play that you see. You're not looking for that big distance. You're just looking to get out in the open and give yourself an upshot. The eagle is real here if you really want to put something out there with a distance driver.
I do like Chris's play. I think over on the left side, even though it does test that OB, is a better chance to get higher up on this green. Mm-hmm. The big tree that we're panning to right now, that big tree right there, if you can have an upshot that goes to the left of that, you're going to have a better opportunity to get it higher on that green.
Yeah.
The branches just aren't quite as low there.
Joel sticking to his strength, throwing the forehand out there, still getting some good distance. Should be about 250 feet from the pin. It looks like he was about 10, 12 feet off the OB, so...
Yeah, still going with the backhand. I'm surprised he's not going forehand here.
Looking to skip it up the hill. Wow.
Well,
okay. Sit.
I'm no longer surprised, but he needs to run up there and mark that right now.
Right now. Wow. Great shot from Chris. No fear. Just putting it up there. This looks a little wide.
Blaer trying to do the same thing.
Don't do that.
The difference between Chris's skip and Blair's skip there, what an unfortunate roll. But Chris's skipped on the flat ground, and so he was able to skip up with his trajectory. Just like Paul's first skip was on the flat ground as well. Blair's hit on that slope, which is going to counteract that skip and move it to the right.
Yep.
You wanted this
Still
to
unfortunate
act
it
extra
rolled
overstable.
that far.
Throw it upside
Yeah, the
down.
roll away into the OB is definitely not something anybody wants to see right there.
And I apologize for talking over Joel right there. That is an overstable disc. Oh my gosh, sit.
He threw that upside down.
Wow, that almost went in. That was crazy.
He threw that upside down and trying to skip that in through the gap. In that strange mindset that we were talking about earlier on hole 14. But still with the chance for the birdie here.
Oh man, just not getting it. Seems to be in better spirits though.
Yeah,
Just
he's
an unfortunate round for Joel right now.
Yeah, lots of metal and not lots of sticking.
All over the basket, yeah. Due to that roll away, Blair will be carding a bogey. The hole averaging pretty easy. One of the easier holes on the course, I'd say, at 0.3 under par. So a lot of players getting up there and getting under par. Like Paul. Great hole from him. And then Chris just sitting there. With a Big Z Predator. Not many players throw that on tour. That's cool to see. It's cool to see him bagging that disc. That was not the Big Z, but the Predator was a favorite disc of Nate Doss back in the day. He threw that thing everywhere, so it's good to see it making a comeback.
And another great birdie from Chris Dickerson there. He is absolutely shredding.
Yep. 11 down on this round. That is insane. He's increasing his lead. He's doing what he has to do. He is a player. That is for sure.
Yeah, it brings us into hole 18, 465 foot. OB down the left side, OB down the right side, just on the other side of this tree line. Right-handed hyzer flip stand up is going to be the best play really to reach this. You've got the big high hyzer over the right side as well, but not much wind to help you out with that play today.
A great finishing hole, even with that right hand stand up turnover backhand. It's kind of a tiered green, so you could hit one of the slopes that you have right in front of the basket and still leave yourself with a 40-foot tester putt. But you want to get the height on there, and you just got to commit to it. Players are all smiles at the end of the round.
I guess roller could be a play also.
This is true.
Chris going with that hyzer flip stand up though, getting nice drift if it can miss these last branches, and he's gonna park it. Like it's not. That
man
is. If you go back and watch the front nine on hole 8, we were a bit surprised about Chris's drive. I think this one might be a little better.
It's got to be the closest at the tournament. That was amazing. And also knowing you're 11 down going into the last hole, closing it out like that is just next level athleticism.
Yeah, you see Paul flirting with all those trees there, able to miss them and get pin height. Oh man, I still don't understand Chris's. He's just on point today. Joel Freeman,
great shot.
Also with the good hyzer flip in circle 2.
That was his drives are just unbelievable right now. Chris Dickerson, I can't stop thinking about that throw we just saw. That was beautiful. And this
needs to sit down.
Yeah.
This is gonna end up fading out to the left side out of bounds. He'll have a long look to save his par here. And a bit of a scary green, so smartly just pitching that one up.
Paul letting the hair out. Getting ready for this final putt, hopefully, for him. It's a big one. But he's known to make a few every now and then. Bit of a tailwind, so it's going to drop the disc. Oh, right over the basket. I think he was expecting more drop than he got. That is sad.
And like you said, the tailwind just didn't drop it enough, and now he's caught that little side slope and rolled out of bounds. Very unfortunate turn of events there after a really good run.
Oh.
Joel off to the right side and knew it immediately.
Yep. So this is for bogey from Paul. And over the basket again.
And the wind immediately lifting that one.
Yep.
Having much more effect than his last putt.
Nice putt.
Yeah, that's not what you want to do on the last hole, but that was a nice putt to finish. It definitely could have gotten a little further away from him there.
Look how close Chris Dickerson is. He is a monster. This is for a 12-down round. Absolutely unbelievable. One stroke off the course record. And this guy is a monster, dude.
And he was one of only 4 birdies on hole 18 today. Corey Ellis, Patrick Blazik, and Alex Russell were also able to card the 2.
A-Russ getting it up there. That's awesome. Good job, Alex.
Good 2s from you guys. And Chris Dickerson just capping off an incredible round to mount his statement to try to win the Open at Belton. He's got a solid lead going into the final round.
Yeah, 6-stroke cushion going into the final 18 holes. The top 10 did shuffle up a little bit. Some good rounds are happening. The lead card is not going to be the same for the last round.
Yeah, we had one player kind of light it up and some other ones struggle today after doing well in the wind. Mindsets change pretty quickly out here in Texas with that winds whipping around.
Oh, yeah. We see Ricky Wysocki shooting an 11 down, Calvin with an 8, as well as Emerson and Chris. Paul Macbeth coming back, 30 strokes.
Look at yourself, Chandler Fry.
I'm up there as well, shooting a 10 down, putting some work in out there.
So good stuff today. It seems like the wind will return tomorrow. Excited to see this third and final round of the Open at Belton.
I am too. See you guys later.